Hey guys, I'm Evan Holiday. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to raise pre-development capital. This is the capital that basically takes you from starting working on a multifamily or mixed-use development all the way through to actually breaking ground and starting construction. I've used this on doing over 1,400 units of development and also our current pipeline of over 1,200 units. And before we get started in today's video, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. All right, let's dive in. This is hugely important because without pre-development capital, you won't ever be able to get the project off the ground. This is the money that takes you from site under contract to starting construction. And this is actually the step-by-step of what we use to raise capital when we're doing our multi-million-dollar deals. And this is what we have used to do our over 1,400 units. So number one, you gotta know your costs. What is it gonna cost you to go from contract to starting construction, and how long is that period of time? Is that 18? Is that 24 months? Is that 6 months? And then figuring out over that pre-development timeline, when are your costs going to be needed to be paid? So when does your architect need to be paid? How much are they going to charge you? How much are your lawyers going to charge you? How much are your third-party reports, your geotech, your phase one, your survey? How much are each one of those reports going to cost you? So all of that should be broken down in a pre-development spreadsheet, breaking down the amount of the cost and when you're going to need to pay that. If you don't already have something like that, you can click the link below and you can get a free version of exactly what we use for our pre-development breakdown spreadsheet. It's hugely valuable because that gives you a snapshot into what it costs to get from A to Z and start construction and start your first development. So that's where you got to start figuring out the numbers and figuring out what it's actually going to cost to get you to breaking ground. Next is creating a sample concept narrative. So this concept narrative is basically usually a 10 to 20 page document that outlines the project, the opportunity. You know, it's kind of like the strengths, weakness, opportunity, threats, the SWOT analysis of your project. Because you're basically pitching your project, you're putting your project in the best possible light you can to be able to convince investors that this is a great investment. So you're also going to want to talk about your returns. What are you offering to your investors? And as an example, we typically offer our impact investors with Holiday Ventures anywhere from 8 to 12% return. That's a preferred return that's paid out monthly, or we actually accrue it to the very end. And we usually do that for a 3-year period. So that gives us enough time and some cushion in case our development takes longer than expected. We typically expect developments to take about 24 months, so we always add on an extra year just in case we need extra time to be able to pay back that capital, or if something goes wrong in the development process, that gives us more time to correct it. So you want to outline all of that in your concept narrative. You want to make it look extra pretty, extra beautiful. You want to have great renderings of your project. You want to have outlines of the site, the location, the market. Outline all of that. Get somebody on Fiverr or Upwork or whoever, or your marketing director, to help you outline all that and make it look extra pretty. Because this is your forward facing. Like, you got to put your best foot forward when you're talking to your investors. So once you have your concept narrative together, the next step, hugely important. I'm not an attorney, but you need to talk to an SEC attorney. These are securities attorneys or security counsel, and basically they can help you set up the proper documentation that you need in order to be able to offer securities and investments to your investors. So you want to do everything by the books, and you should always lean on the guidance and have somebody on your team that is an SEC attorney that knows how to put together those investment documents. And lastly, now that you have those 3 steps in place, the final step is having those conversations with your investors, reaching out to them, whether that's your email list, social media, friends and family, texting, reaching out and having those conversations and getting your investors on board to your next pre-development for your next project. And obviously there's way more in depth that goes into that. Too much for us to cover in today's video, but if you are interested in how to have those conversations from start to finish with investors and get them on board with your project, be on the lookout on our YouTube channel for a video specifically on that topic. And then finally, as a whole nother option to everything that we just said, this is, in my opinion, is a very easy alternative to be able to get into raising that pre-development capital without having to reach out to a bunch of different investors. If you're just getting started, you don't have that big base of investors that you can lean on, or you don't feel confident yet doing that, you can always find a joint venture or JV partner who has experience in whatever type of project you're doing and can also bring capital and possibly even guarantees on the loans. So those are three important things for every project. But being able for them to bring the pre-development capital, if they can bring, however big your project is, $500,000 or $3 million to help you get the project from piece of land under contract all the way to start construction. If you have one partner that can do that, that saves you so much time and allows you to focus on the project. So if you're just getting started, I would definitely recommend that option. That's a much easier option. But also if you want to do it on your own, then I highly recommend going through those first steps that we mentioned. And guys, I hope this helped. I hope this kind of gives you a better idea of how we have done pre-development capital raising and the steps you need to take in order to raise that capital. And guys, good luck on your capital raise. Make sure to put in the comments if you have any questions or you want further follow-up of specific topics or how we did certain things. And also make sure to check out the free pre-development cost breakdown spreadsheet that we're going to put the link in below. That's hugely valuable. That is great information. That's literally going to take my 10 plus years of development and what I've learned in pre-development, and now you can tap into that with that spreadsheet, and that will save you a whole bunch of time. So check that out. And guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with a friend, check out our links below, and have a great day.